Hi there, and welcome to the Accepted Authority podcast. My name is Greg Roworth, and each week on the Accepted Authority podcast, we talk about a specific challenge relating to growing your consultancy practice. And typically, we refer to the strategy of authority positioning as being the best strategy for being able to attract your premium clients consistently and predictably. So in today's episode, I want to talk about marketing is a journey, not an event. Now, the reason I talk about that is because what I see a lot of consultants doing is actually treating their marketing and sales process more like an event than a journey. And when I say an event, what I see people doing is generating a lead in some fashion, and more often than not, that's through a referral, but it may be through other means. But typically what happens then is that we want to take that lead straight into a sales meeting. Basically, we want to get in front of that potential client and tell them more about us and what we do. And part of that process may include a discovery process where you're finding out more about your client and what their challenge is. But typically it's a very short time frame where we're looking to get in front of that client from that initial lead and turn them into a paying client. Now, my experience is that when we think about marketing and generating leads through our marketing, we need to consider it more as a journey rather than an event. We can't take everybody from an initial contact or initial point of introduction to a sales meeting and to a sale. Maybe it does happen occasionally, but I'm sure in your experience, you will also agree that it happens very rarely that you can take someone straight through that contact, sales meeting and sales agreement, unless they are a referral. And that is really the only time where that is possible. But even in that situation, your client has gone on a buyer's journey. Now, this is the relevant part of this process because every buyer goes on a buyer's journey, and there's a typical pathway to that journey that I've talked about previously on this podcast. And if you've been a listener to the podcast for a while, you will recognize that process of matching our marketing strategy with the client's buying strategy. So we need to understand what that buying strategy is. Now, even with a referral, what's happened is that a client has first become aware they have a problem. Then they start searching for solutions. And part of their search process is talking to their colleagues, their peers, people that they trust that may have some understanding or experience of the problem that they're facing. They will talk to somebody, and that person will know who we are, and maybe they've been a previous client of ours, and naturally they will say, well, you need to go and see Greg about that problem because here's what he did for us, and he's your man. Now, in that case, obviously I'm making it personal to me, but that's what happens when we get a referral, is that somebody has an experience of you, they talk to somebody else who's having the same sort of problem that you've helped them deal with, and they will make that recommendation and pass that person or direct them to speak to you. What tends to happen in that situation is we can pretty much go straight to that sales meeting, and more often than not, that client becomes a client. They become a paying client. Now, when we get leads through means other than referrals, the potential client has not been through that first part of the journey. They are interrupted by our marketing. They may come across an article that we might have written or a post on LinkedIn. They may contact us, and we might then want to take them to a sales meeting, or potentially, and I think what happens more often than not is that they will find our website, and what we're asking them to do on our website is contact us. That's the form we have on our website, isn't it? That contact us form that we want people to fill in when they hit our website. Now, if we've generated that lead in another way, possibly through meeting someone at a networking event, and we've had a bit of a chat with them, and they talk about the problem that we solve, and we'll say to them, oh, we should get together and discuss that. I think I've got a solution for you. And we go straight to the sales meeting again. Here is where the breakdown is in the whole process, because we are wanting the potential client to jump multiple steps ahead in their buyer's journey, because in that situation, we are not giving them the opportunity to go through the evaluation phase or the search for solution phase. Because remember, in our buyer's journey that's become aware of a problem, start to search for solutions, then narrow down their options, decide on a specific option that they prefer, and then they will be ready to buy. Now, what we're doing, if we are taking people from an initial contact straight to the sales meeting, that is really the ready to buy phase that we're wanting to bring potential clients into. So if we are asking potential clients to go straight from that initial contact, initial meeting in a network situation, and take them straight to a sales meeting where we're asking them potentially to buy our services, we've got to do a lot of heavy lifting in that sales meeting to be able to get a result, because we have to take our client through the equivalent of the search for a solution, narrowing down the options, and deciding on the appropriate solution for them. And I'm sure that if that's the way you're operating, more times than not, you are going to get the response where you're asking someone to make a decision about buying your services. The response will be, sounds interesting, can you send us a proposal? Is that the case? If that's what's happening to you, then this is why it's happening, because you are taking or asking your client to jump multiple steps in their buying journey, the typical buyer's journey that every buyer will go through. It's the same process for every buyer. It just needs your input to help them through that process in a less disruptive or a less confronting way. So that's why I say that marketing is a journey, not an event. Because if you're considering it as an event, or maybe a couple of events where you initially make contact, then want to have the sales meeting, it's so much more concentrated into a short space of time that it does not suit the majority of the buyers that you'll be bringing into those sales meetings. And therefore, your results, when you have a marketing generated lead, if I can put it that way, rather than a referred lead, are going to be vastly different. With referred leads who have gone through that journey and come to you at the right moment, ready to come into that sales meeting, you're going to have a much higher success rate converting those potential clients into paying clients. When you're bringing marketing generated leads into a sales meeting before they're they're ready, before they've done their research, before they've narrowed down their options, they will have resistance because you're not preparing them. You've not allowed them to go through that normal buying process. Now, this is really important. I hope that you understand the importance of making this happen in your marketing journey. You help your clients go through that journey. Don't allow them to just stumble their way to you by saying, oh, you're not ready yet. I can't take you to a sales meeting yet. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that your marketing process needs to replicate the journey that your clients want to go on. So when you do meet someone at a marketing or a networking event, what should be the first thing that you do for them? If you're talking to them and they identify that they have a problem that you solve, the first thing you need to be able to do is provide them with information that will take the place of that research phase of their buyer's journey. And this same approach needs to happen if you're marketing on LinkedIn or on your website or any other online means, or even offline means of advertising to bring clients to you. You need to provide the buyer's journey for them in your marketing process. So you need to take your buyer on a journey where they take that journey in your vehicle. And this is the value of understanding this process and creating a marketing journey for your clients where you're taking them on that journey in your vehicle. Because if you're not providing the vehicle for your clients to take that journey, they're going to find someone else's vehicle and potentially never come back to you. They may go to that networking meeting. They may have that discussion with you. They may say they will come to a sales meeting, the equivalent of it's not, you're not selling them, it's, or you're not saying to them, let's, set up a time for a sales meeting. You're setting up a time for a conversation. However, what will happen if you do not provide the vehicle for them to take that buyer's journey where they are able to go through the research about their problem and narrow down some potential solutions for them and decide what is the right solution before that sales meeting, they will probably go on that research process themselves. And potentially, if they find someone else's vehicle to take them on that journey, they'll come to the time of that sales meeting and either be a no-show, or they'll politely decide that that meeting is no longer relevant for them. And that is a very disappointing situation for anyone in consulting when we're looking to attract the right sort of clients to us, particularly when we've had that initial conversation with them and we know that we've got the right solution for them. So if you're missing opportunities like that, or if you're finding sales meetings difficult, if you're finding that you're having to do a lot of heavy lifting in the sales meeting, or that at the end of the sales meeting you're having to present proposals to the client, then I recommend finding a way to build that buyer's journey process into your marketing process. And that means that you need to be building trust. You need to be providing assets that build trust. Now, there are a number of assets that build trust. There's a couple that you can see in the background here that I've written, a couple of books here, and my whole bookshelf full of books. They are all trust-building assets. If they're a good book, they can actually undermine trust if the book is poorly written. And I've read some of those, and I would well, my opinion about the author has changed because of the book, where I initially had some level of hope that there was a solution. The content of that book has actually undermined my trust and destroyed my hope. And that's what happens with our clients that are attracted to us in our marketing. The first thing that we do after we get their attention is we build hope. They hope that we have the solution for them. Therefore, our content needs to maintain that hope or build on that hope, but we build on that hope by adding value and by building trust. And we build trust when we demonstrate that we have a solution that works, when we show that we have the expertise to provide that solution, and we have the experience of having provided that solution in the past. So, but there are a number of other assets that you can create to demonstrate those things. There are videos, there are webinars, there are live presentations, there are ebooks, white papers. There are a number of vehicles that you can use to start your potential clients on that research journey. So when you get an opportunity, yes, set up the opportunity for a sales meeting, but before that sales meeting happens, make sure you're providing your potential client with assets that build trust and continue to build hope. And then make sure that you're describing your solution in a way that stands out and is unique to all of your competitors. Because if you're trying to sell the same solution as your competitors, and potentially it's a solution that your potential client has tried in the past, and they've had one of your competitors providing that solution, providing that service that didn't actually create the solution for your client. So now if they're looking for someone else to solve that problem, if you're just offering the same services that they've had in the past, you're not going to stand a chance. They're going to strike that out as an option because they've been there, done that, and didn't get the result. So your solution needs to be described in a unique way so that it at least looks different from what they might have tried in the past, and it looks different from what your competitors are offering. Now, it doesn't have to be totally different in every aspect, but it's got to be different enough so that your potential client can see that it's another option. It's an option they have not tried before, and therefore that new approach continues to build hope for them that your solution will work. When you're able to build that journey for your buyer, for your potential client, into your marketing process between the initial contact and the sales meeting, you're helping to replicate that normal, natural process that every buyer takes through that journey. And that will make your sales meeting so much easier, so much less resistance, so much less heavy lifting needs to be done in the sales meeting when your client is pre-educated and understands the journey that you're going to take them on beyond the journey you've been taking them on. And really, this is why it is a journey of building trust, building hope, building the decision-making process that helps your clients decide, yes, I'm going to take the journey of solving my problem with you. So that's the way to create a marketing journey for your clients to travel on to take their buying journey in your vehicle. If you'd like to know more about how you can create that vehicle or set of vehicles that will help your interested buyers take that buying journey with you to see you as the authority and understand that you are the accepted authority in your field, then we have a process to enable you to do that at Business Flight Path. So what I recommend is that you go to my website, businessflightpath.com, and download the free information we have about this process. Or if you do want to speak to me, reach out, and there's opportunities on my website, or reach out through direct message on LinkedIn or Facebook. When you get there, you'll be asked to fill out some information and give me some background about your business situation, and you can set up a time to meet. Before that meeting, we will have an opportunity for you to learn a bit more about our process through some educational material that I provide to you. So if you're interested in learning more about what I've talked about today and helping create the buying journey within your marketing process for your potential clients so that you have an easier process of the sale, and also get more people into that sales meetings because of your structure, and you're not missing opportunities because they're going somewhere else, they are able to find your vehicles for taking them on that buyer's journey. So I really want you to take note of what I've said today, because this is the most critical aspect that I've discovered in marketing my professional services, marketing in my consultancy practices, in the 3 firms that I've sold, or grown and sold before the one I'm working on now. And I understand the whole process in a way that almost no one else does. So please take note. Please take notes about the process. And again, if you want to know more, please reach out and discover how to take that buying journey with me. That's it for the Accepted Authority podcast today. This is Greg Roworth, out.